Well, hello, everyone. This is Ron Bush with Ron Bush Consulting, and you're joining us on the Information Playground. I'm glad you're with us today. We've got a special guest, Sicoski, and many of you regular listeners will recognize him. But let me first tell a little bit about how you can find us. If you're listening to us on WVLP, that's the local radio station for Valparaiso, 103.1 FM, you can find us every Monday morning from 8 to 9. You can find us every Friday afternoon from 1 to 2. But if those times don't work for you, check us out on demand. You can find the podcast, audio podcast on any of the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any of them. You'll find us there also under the Information Playground. And if you'd like to see the video, not so much to see me, but the handsome guy I'm interviewing today, you might want to. You can find that on YouTube. Sicoski is my guest, but the Information Playground on YouTube. So thank you for being with us. Atso, I did a little rough job there on the introduction. Tell folks a little bit about yourself, if you would.
Yes, Ron. Good morning or good afternoon, whatever the time of the show is going to be. Really appreciate for the opportunity as always, and thank you for inviting me to your wonderful shows and informing general public specifically about cybersecurity. It's very important for us to be educated because those are one kind of things. And I mentioned even before, anytime I'm with you and you're reminding me the things are happening in that world, what we don't see it, but we are feeling it. For sure, either is it in the emails or accounts or those kind of things. I'm going to say you scare me, but in a good way. Yes.
Thank you, my friend.
Very good. You're very intentional in bringing the attention of how scary is if we are not educated about cybersecurity and to protect ourselves, because the internet is being developed for a good reason, but like anything else, people will find different ways to do it. So thank you again for inviting me. I'm Sicoski, serving campus chancellor for Valparaiso campus, Michigan City and LaPorte sites, and look forward to share more good things, what is happening at Ivy Tech in general and at the campus and sites.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for the compliments as well. I appreciate those immensely. Ivy Tech Valpo campus, I've known you guys. I don't know how many times you've been on the program, but it's a bunch because I've known you for so long, and you guys do so much in this arena. You just had your ribbon cutting recently for your CSOC. You're working on a lab for human trafficking to work with, I believe the local police department, could be the sheriff's department. Don't have all the details on that, but you guys are just always just expanding. You're always, I guess, working hard to protect us, but to train people to go out to protect us. I'm just so infatuated with what you do on campus, but I know you've got other things that are going. So let me start asking you, what's going on at Ivy Tech, Porter County or LaPorte County, so Michigan City or Valparaiso?
Absolutely. Ron, the mission is calling us to provide programs to be aligned to support a local industry, local economy. And we all know that pretty much today, every single employer is looking for skilled employees. And who better than higher educational institution like Ivy Tech? We are the ones who we should be in the front to be able to provide either short-term certifications or technical certificate or associate degree, in other words, to provide skills and training to those individuals so we can meet the demand. It's going to be good for the students, good for the community, good for the economic development. Across the board, that's who we are, that's what we do. But when it comes down to what are we doing specifically in our service area, you mentioned the ribbon cutting ceremony we had in November, but prior to that, we had 2 additional ribbon cutting ceremonies. One was in Michigan City, first time ever, we open up industrial technology lab just because we are offering training right in the heart of the industry. As we all know, Michigan City is the capital, so speak, in the world when it comes down for the compressed air equipment production. It's all about manufacturing, and Ivy Tech not having a lab and offering a full-blown program. It's one of those things we really pay attention what we can do, and it's great. Great relationship with the economic development, Michigan City, great support with the chamber, and of course with the industry, Saleer, KTR, and all those. They are very supportive of what we're trying to do, because exactly as I said before, we are there to provide the services and support for those industries. And the second one here in Valparaiso, we are known for the quality of the nursing program and healthcare in general, but we had ribbon cutting ceremony for the simulation lab, state of the art. And that lab we were able to develop while we were all closed. So when there were no students and faculty and staff a year ago in 2020, I call it not non-existent year, so to speak. But we were able to, one of the community rooms, which is one of the largest rooms we had, to convert into the simulation lab, state of the art.
Great. So for our listeners, now I've taken the tour. It's been a few years, so I'm probably due for a new tour. But for our listeners that haven't been on the tour or haven't been there recently, let's talk about those two things. First, what is industrial technology? And two, when we talk about the nursing program and simulation lab, what does it look like and what purpose does it serve? How does it benefit everyone?
Yes. Industrial technology, it's one program, but we have different pathways, like majority of the programs at Ivy Tech. But specifically industrial technology, we have electrical technician pathway, we have mechanical pathway, and then we have welding. So the three different pathways, they're available in Valparaiso. But because of the building and the space, what is available in Michigan City, we offer industrial technology mechanical pathway to provide support for the industry, as I mentioned before. On the flip side, over in City of LaPorte, we have site, and now we are offering industrial technology, but electrical pathway. So City of LaPorte, electrical pathway, Michigan City, mechanical pathway, and all three are being offered in Valparaiso, just because, as you mentioned, and we have the flexible lab in Valparaiso, 15,000 square feet, open space, and state-of-the-art equipment. So again, the space, the building itself makes a big difference. And we're trying to do everything what we can over in Michigan City and LaPorte to offer those programs. So again, those are very specific and tailored programs, and curriculum is being developed to support the industry. Again, starting with certificate, where it's required only 7 courses. And speaking about courses, they're offered in 8-week format, which means students, they can complete one course in 8 weeks. And I don't want it to, for general public to be misinformed, because from the regular 16-week courses, now we are down on 8 weeks, which means half time. That means, no, we are not cutting on the instruction. All the objectives, as they're listed on the course outline, will be delivered, and the contact hours will be maintained. So no, we are not cutting it on the contact hours. What we're trying to do is to be able to offer these classes in 8 weeks. So in that case, students completing the course, and if they need to adjust because of their life needs, either jobs or something required, so they can make adjustments in their schedule.
Excellent. I know that's primarily as a request from students. Most students are time conscious. They don't want to stay in school. I mean, they've already, if they're if they're young and they've recently graduated high school, probably tired of school, they want to get what they need, get out and get making money. And so an 8-week course versus a 16-week course, obviously half the time. So that's great. And it's also great that you don't skimp on training, certifications, contact time, none of that. It's as though they were taking a 16-week course, except it's faster. And it's a little more intense. I've taught some of those courses, and it is a little more intense. So so excellent. So that's industrial technology, and I didn't realize that you were doing it in doing some of it in LaPorte as well as Michigan City. That's fascinating. So you've got 3 ways for people right there in that area to get the training that they want and need.
For sure. And just to make that point, the other point for us is whatever it's available to us, we wanted to make sure that we cannot be everywhere, but if we have opportunities or it's something it's possible, definitely we will be there. We understand how critical it is for us to be as close as possible to the industry, to the students, to anybody, so we can provide the best services and cut on the travel time. And speaking about the travel time, and if nothing else, we learned from pandemic that things can be delivered online. However, there is a flip side to it. It's all good when students are taking classes online and virtual and all of that. But for sure, some of these programs and training, it's extremely challenging to deliver. How are you going to teach motor control, basic electricity, or how the healthcare and nursing programs, how are you going to train somebody to be virtual? No, they need to be in the lab. And that's what we're trying to be the most and better efficient on that one. Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the nursing program, the simulation lab. What is that all about?
Simulation lab is a lab being developed where we wanted to replicate pretty much life case scenarios for our nursing and healthcare students, just to be, even though they are at the college, they're at the campus, but they're going to have that kind of experience as close as possible to the reality. So the latest lab, what we have developed, as mentioned, this community room, we did not change the exterior walls, still internal walls, but I call it from that room. Those walls did not modify, none of that. But inside, we built 4 rooms. And in the front, like many hospitals, they have glass doors. So we have glass doors for each of these separate rooms. And each room is equipped with bed and mannequin. These mannequins, they are really high tech. When I say high tech, they are really expensive because they're equipped with high tech technology, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and all of that. Why? Because instructors and simulation tech is going to, so speak, play the game. They will set up scenario. They will, in the midst of training, they will raise the heart rate or breathing rate. And now the students being in the room, now they need to figure out what they need to do. But it's, again, why it's exciting and why personally I'm excited with my team. We have outstanding faculty, but this lab, how we designed and being developed is just complement what we're trying to accomplish, which means students to get the best of the best experience while in the college before they're going to go on the clinical sites.
Wow, that is great. I know, I don't think there's a better time for this. I won't speak for anyone else, but I've tried to get in and see a couple of different doctors recently, and it's hard. There's not as many doctors as there used to be, and they're short on staff. There's not as many nurses as there used to be. It's a different world from 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. The needs have grown, and the folks able to help have shrunk, I guess. is one way to look at it. I know you've got some news in that area as well. Let's start there.
Thank you, Ron. Again, pandemic impacted our lives on many, many fronts, but definitely the first and the most important is about the health and the services being provided, how we are protecting our fellow citizens. Are the services available? And sure enough, under normal conditions, like back before 2020, in 2019 and before, we knew and everyone knew that shortages of qualified healthcare providers, it's there. Pandemic is just amplified through the roof. And why I'm saying that, before 2020, before the pandemic, we were aware that the shortages being boosted by number of nurses ready to retire, so they were retiring, so that is the gap. And then of course, aging population, they need more healthcare services. So you, on one side, the need of providing services is growing, but on the other side, providers is, so to speak, shrinking. And now we need to figure out how we're going to amplify the graduates, the number of students who they're going to pass the exams, NCLEX exam, become RNs, those kind of things. How are we going to do it? So fast forward, right now, I can say that it's being known that right now, over 5,000 nursing positions will be open by 2031. We need to elevate the number of graduates. And again, I'm talking about state of Indiana, by over 1,300 per year. Can you imagine 1,300 per year? So it's a lot of work to be done on our side, but I am grateful and excited because we were able to seize the opportunity, so to speak, to develop another state-of-the-art lab to be able to offer more positions for the nursing students to come and qualify and go through the program. And now, just lately, it's being passed a bill, HB 1003, and I think it's in the House now, where they're going to be voting, so we can, again, this is a limited enrollment program, but now this bill is going to call for educational institutions like ourselves to be able to elevate the number of students who they're going to be enrolling these programs, as long as we are 80% or better in passing rates for the last 5 years. Well, let me share with you that our program for the last 6 years is being well above that number. So I am really, really grateful for our nursing team, faculty, Dean Marrero, Didi, she is the dean, and how she manages and working with the faculty advisors, and we were able to get to that level. So really, really appreciate for our team, outstanding team, and of course for my cabinet and staff supporting this initiative to build these kind of labs.
Excellent, excellent. So we've got maybe 7 minutes before we break for the midway. What else can you tell us before, just to kind of finish up nursing? What else can you tell us regarding the nursing program?
Yes.
What's required? What if there's folks listening to this that might be interested in that? What do they need to know? What is it that I guess will get them started at Ivy Tech on their nursing career?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things for us is very important to make sure that not only general public and those just most high school recent graduates or anybody just to say, hey, I wanted to go into the nursing program, and they're going to enroll in the program. But at the same time, we wanted to expand this opportunity to the other healthcare professionals, such as paramedics. So the students who they are graduate from paramedic science, we started a new, we call it transition or ASN track for paramedics, where they can go into this nursing program even though they already graduate from paramedic science. Why we trying to do that and why we are offering these opportunities? For multiple reasons. Number one, absolutely not because there is no need for paramedics.
Right.
The need is there. But at the same time, when some of those individuals, they've been doing the same thing over and over again, now they can expand their knowledge. And instead of being as a paramedics technician, now they can be nurse. So it can matriculate into that. But again, in order to go through that process, it requires few steps. And it's already, for those who they're interested, I don't want to speak something what I'm not knowledgeable about, some of the requirements, but definitely I will encourage everyone who is interested for nursing, we call it nursing interest students category, to reach out to us at either via email, valparaiso-admissions@ivtech.edu, or call us at 219-476-4701, and definitely we will provide more information.
Excellent, excellent. As usual, when there's a need, Ivy Tech steps up, and I'm really impressed with that. I don't have the background, the medical background. I certainly have to be familiar with HIPAA, but as far as the medical side of that, I'm on the cybersecurity side of HIPAA, not on the other side. I can tell you, we've got all this great medical technology, but if you don't have people that can help you with it, that can dispense it, well, you've got a problem. You've got literally all dressed up and no place to go. You've got to have someone like a nurse, a physician, medical technician, all of that. And I'm grateful Ivy Tech has stepped up. The old phrase used to be "in the breach" to take care of the problem. We're going to take a quick break here. Let me identify where we're coming from and who we are, and then we'll come right back. And I'm hoping we can talk a little bit about some cybersecurity stuff. So I'm Ron Bush. I'm your host. I own Ron Bush Consulting, and in full disclosure, I teach some classes at Ivy Tech, and I'm a program director for cybersecurity at Calumet College. So there's all kinds of ways that you can find me, and I get around. This program is brought to you on a weekly basis in a number of different ways. I've been with WVLP for years now. I think it's close to a decade, 8 or 9, 10 years, somewhere in there. And they're a great radio station. If you're in Valparaiso and you want to be part of the community, but you don't know where to start, well, take a look at wvlp.org. That's an excellent website. Radio station does great job in the community. Of course, it's a little hampered with pandemic. Can't really do stuff face-to-face like we used to. They used to hold several different concerts and things every year. Those are kind of on the back step right now. But if you're interested, give a look at the website. You can also stream this program from there. So if you're not in Valparaiso, I know I've got listeners that stream through wvlp.org from all over the globe. So give a listen, give a look. If you can't catch us, and by the way, it's broadcast from 8 to 9 a.m. on Mondays, and it's from 1 to 2 p.m. on Fridays. If you can't work those times into your schedule, check us out on demand. We're on all the podcast platforms under The Information Playground. That's our radio program name. It's also our podcast name and our YouTube channel name, The Information Playground. You can check us out on demand at your schedule, whatever's convenient for you. Now, our guest is a good friend of mine, Atso Sicoski. I've known Atso for years, longer than I've been doing the radio program. So Atso is the Chancellor for Ivy Tech. Atso, if people are curious about this, let's say they go and listen to the program again, give again how folks can get in touch with Ivy Tech and find out any of the things that we're going to be talking about or have talked about, how can they learn more?
Absolutely. Via email, just send us a quick email at valparaiso-admissions@ivtech.edu or call us at 219-476-4701. And we will provide the information. Again, phone number 219-476-4701 or email us at valparaiso-admissions@ivtech.edu.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Well, you've had some news in the cybersecurity arena as well. Let's start there.
Absolutely. When you started with this session of your radio show, you mentioned about that ribbon cutting we had back in November, and that is just the highlight of the partnership with Cyberbit. Cyberbit, it's Israeli company. They providing the software, very interactive software, so students will be able to participate similar like healthcare students through the simulation lab, but cybersecurity students to be able to have that firsthand experience, interaction. How does it look like cyber attacks? Mm-hmm. And what the software provides opportunity is that the students are divided in blue and red team, and they are attacking, but the software is going to discover where the attack is coming from, what is happening, and it is really cool just to see how the students are enjoying and have that firsthand experience. Speaking about Cyberbit and the company and what we've been working, and you as a part of the program advisory committee, you've been involved so long, and really appreciate your advice and expertise you're providing to us. We've been working with this company for quite a few years, but the cost, it was really unaffordable for us. We could not make that happen. And I'm talking about the price was close to $500,000, if you remember when we were talking about that. But now keep talking with them, the prices came down, and the partnership and support for substantial donation from the local donor, we were able to create this kind of partnership. And that ribbon cutting we had last November, it was about to highlight the partnership and how Cyberbit was working with us, and the software, the cyber range, is going to help the students to get that kind of experience. So I'm really grateful for the donation. I'm really grateful for you being part of the committee, grateful to Professor Rami, Ben Marrero, Alma, all the faculty in School of IT, because as we all say, it's taking a village to raise a kid. Well, that's exactly what is the truth, even with this case. And now we can celebrate that. And it's outstanding. I mean, you had so many, you seem, thank you for your participation, but the audience and the participants on that day, it was really amazing.
It was, and I had the joy of getting in a couple of the training programs for Cyberbit when they were just starting. It's an amazing program, and you know, you mentioned it's an Israeli company. You know, back in 2015 or 16, all the major tech companies, from Facebook to Google or Alphabet, all of them purchased Israeli companies. They all have offices over in Israel as well as here. It's when you take into account that Israel is almost always under some sort of attack, and nowadays it's mostly some sort of cyber attack. They have to be good at what they do, and they're known as the best in the world. So to get that kind of a tool locally in Valparaiso at Ivy Tech, was just tremendous. And I know you worked on that for years. It's not something that happened overnight. There's a lot of effort in that. I'm just grateful. The students that we'll see come through that program will be so much richer for that. and I mean in information and training. Those of you that have not are not in the arena, you might want to take a look at Cyberbit's website, CYBERBIT, I believe. They're just an excellent program. They're pricey, but they're really good. So, so I'm glad that they did that. You mentioned Rami and Professor Rami and Dr. Marrero. They're just excellent, and Alma as well. They're just excellent at what they do. Professor Alma, I should have said, excellent at what they do, well-trained, knowledgeable. They do an excellent job. And yeah, I'm privileged to be able to work with them, but to call them friends as well. In fact, Alma, if I remember correctly, has a certification. It's escaping me.
I'll say, and I'll help you, between Professor Rami, Professor Alma, and Professor Ben, I feel we have the most certifications and the best knowledgeable professors here. I know we have so many cybersecurity programs in Ivy Tech system, and pretty much, I would say majority of the 19 campuses they're offering. But between Columbus and Valparaiso, I would say that we are the best ones, what we can provide that. Again, we have really good professors to all campuses, but when it comes down for certifications, I would say, yes, we are one of the top, if not on the top.
Excellent, excellent. The cert that I was trying to think of is project management professional. Professor Alma has that, and I've seen the course. It's a tough course, and she does a great job teaching that.
She does.
Professor Rami, of course, he's well known in cybersecurity circles, and I think his classes at your school have often won national awards, often first place. So again, kudos to all your staff, all your folks. The cybersecurity thing is important. Now you mentioned the ribbon cutting on the CSOC. Tell us a little bit about how that works, and I'll join in if I may, as you talk through it. I was really excited about that. I'm afraid it's one of those best kept secret things. The way I really want to see that thing used is businesses get involved, understand what's going on, maybe use some of those interns, the students coming through as interns, as they get trained in that. A CSOC is a cybersecurity operations center. It's just short. IT people can't talk in normal words. They have to use acronyms apparently. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, Ron, when I'm talking about these kind of labs, what we have at the Valparaiso campus, again, that is another example how much attention we put into the design and how we are doing it. So on C Hall, second floor, we have these 3 designated rooms. Mm-hmm. And there are 2 rooms on each side, and we have one in the middle, which is the data center. Data center is being developed only for students to have that playground. I'm sorry, I'm not using the terminology for this radio show, but it's a playground for them because anything from routers, switches, and cabling and server, everything is in that room is designated for the students as a lab. Yes. So that is right in the middle. It's a data center, and then on each side we have 2 labs. One is the cybersecurity, and the other one is networking. Both rooms being hardwired to the data center, and now we are making simulation of thousands of miles per se. Where is the data center and where is the end user? And students, when they are working or on the software, in this case for cybersecurity, one team is in one room, the other team is in the other room, and they're just using the software how to attack each other. And again, it's fascinating just to see that all of them are right there, but because it's a separate rooms, now they don't know how far they are. But well, they do, but they are right there and they feeling it and seeing it themselves, that like it's thousands of miles, but yet it's right there.
Yeah.
Internet and everything made the world so small. Not even, you don't need to walk. Everything is available right in your hand or you're on the desk. Everything is there. And that's what we're trying to do here, to simulate that, yes, everything is possible. So that is the kind of training. But you mentioned something about the industry. Definitely, I'm inviting industry when they need to have some kind of training, anything, please reach out to us. We have, we call it a CCEC, Career Coaching and Employer Connections department, where we have employer consultants, and those are the individuals who they are going to reach out, or industry reach out to us, and to share what kind of training needs they have or they need. So we can organize different classes. We can organize, we call it customized training, which means doesn't have to be aligned with the stop of the semester. We can start and stop at any time. We can offer classes on Sundays after church. We can offer midnight. I'm making it up. Well, I don't, because I can share my experience back in early 2000 when I was a faculty, Ron. I was teaching blueprint reading for Regal. At that time, I think still they were called Emerson here in Valparaiso. I don't know if you remember them.
I do.
And yes, and I was one of the faculty do the training for blueprint reading for their employees. At that time, they had about 250 employees, and they wanted everyone to go through the training. Well, I was asked if I was willing to do training, I'm not making it up, at 5 a.m. And starting at 5 a.m. and they wanted to, and they were explicit about that. They said, we wanted to do the training because we wanted to catch third shift and first shift, and right there in between. And I said, totally understand, and I can do that. I was young. What did I know at that time? Just do it, right?
You had more energy, maybe, too.
Today it's more white hair, and it's different. But with all seriousness, yes, the Department for the Career Coaching and Employer Connection, Patty Shields is the executive director for that, and it's more willing to connect with those listeners who they need more help and what they need. But we are here to help.
Excellent. I wasn't aware of that. It's good to know. So let's talk about credentials. And you made me think of it when you were talking. Many of the classes, the final exam is a CompTIA certification. You've got, I don't remember what the classes are, but you've got one that the final is an A+. That's your hardware and software designation or certification. Then you've got networking. That's an N+, is the final on that. There's one for security. It's S+, Security Plus. Those three are CompTIAs, but there's Cisco. There's a wide variety of other certifications. You have a name for that. And actually, you guys kind of pioneered, at least to the best of my knowledge, putting programs together around that for specific employers and just for people who want, maybe they want to have a certain list of certifications under their belt. You guys do a really good job of that. Would you like to talk about that or speak to that?
Absolutely. So when we are talking about credentialing and talking about each program when we are developing, I would say 99% we have like technical certificate, which is a 1 year, halfway, and then we have associate degree, 2-year degree. But majority of them, we are offering certificates. And certificate could be 4 to 7 courses, what it's available for the students. So we call it stackable credentialing. Students coming in, taking these intro classes, the first 5 to 7 courses, they will be able to earn that certificate. Then coming back or continuing to taking the classes, 3 more classes or 5 more classes, now the student accomplish technical certificate equivalent to 1-year degree. Then 1 more year, now it's a full-blown associate degree. So we call it stackable credentialing. We wanted to make sure that the students in such a short period of time, they're earning credentials, they're qualified for positions and jobs, and they can be employable, so to speak. So for cybersecurity, for example, we have the first certificate. Yes, it's right there with 30 credits, and they're going to be able to do 1 more year, and they're going to earn associate degree, which is 60 credits. But then also there is 1 certificate with 21 college credits, which a rule of thumb, 3 college credits per course, that is equates to 7 courses. So when students, they are completing their requirements for all the certificates, and if they're going to complete 1 course in English, then they need to take 1 class in IT Essential 1 and 2, and then computing logistic, then now they're 1 year. So as you said, taking these additional courses on top of the short-term certification, they're going to bring them to the level where they need to be. So that is about stackable credentialing.
So if someone wants to, maybe they want to get a job, they want to switch careers, they want to get into cybersecurity as an example, they can approach it that way. Now, this is not to detract from getting the degree. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention at this point that once they have their associate's degree, Calumet College will accept those credits and they can go on and get their bachelor's. We're in the process of building that bachelor's degree right now for cybersecurity, but I hope to by the end of the calendar year for sure, and hopefully before to have the degree program built.
Awesome. And those who they're interested, feel free to reach out to Professor Rami at his email address. It's rsalahieh@ivtech.edu. And again, it's rsalahieh@ivtech.edu.
Excellent, excellent. Rami's a good man. So if you call him or email him, I don't know his email address off the top of my head, but you can get to him through the school or by leaving a message, of course, on his phone.
Right.
He'll get back to you if he doesn't answer, and he knows just about everything in cybersecurity. So that'll be helpful. What else? We've got about 7 minutes, a little less than that.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to share that the other exciting news about the energy program. And we have so many projects in Northwest Indiana related to the solar panels and solar energy. We are all familiar with the next era, which is right now it's a South Porter County. That is going to be about 200 megawatts plant to be built. And then we know the plant it's going on right now in Jasper County. And then of course, the plant, it's being established, I believe that was in Stark and surrounding counties, 1.3 gigawatts, which means that is by far the largest solar panel plant in the nation.
Wow.
So it is huge, and there was a groundbreaking ceremony last fall on that project, and it's going to take good 3-4 years to build. And we are talking about anywhere between 200 to 500 employees to build the plant, to install these panels, to do the wiring and all of that. So it is a huge project. And Valparaiso, we are known for the energy program, and we are known for that. I call that conventional energy, because we developed this program with in partnership with NIPSCO back in 2007 And
Wow.
now, and we had, we have 3 different pathways. One is the alignment, students coming in to be trained and get the degree so they can go and fix the lines as we see it all the time. The other track is the natural gas installation and construction and repair. And then the third one used to be power plant technician. Well, we all know that these power plants will be decommissioned pretty soon. And with that being said, now we are introducing this new pathway. It's called renewable energy. Students coming in, they're going to be trained anything from the wind to solar, battery, all of that is going to be trained. And in fact, last summer, we had opportunity through some of the grants. We purchased solar panels, and our students, they installed one small system, rather small, but they installed from start to finish right there. And probably many of the listeners, they can see it now from 49. It's right there between the campus and 49. It's right there on that land. So please, if I want you to be careful when you're driving. So you're on 49, but you might be able to notice that on the side, we had one system this last summer students they installed. But speaking about the training, now we are very intentional how we're going to provide all the training needs for those 500 employees. They needed anything from basic electricity and fully understanding, what does it take? Because as soon as, and I'm sure that many know, but some don't, but as soon as you open up that the panel, the solar panel out of the box, that is life. That produces power. And if you don't know how to handle, if you don't know how to wire, and you don't know how to do those kind of things, it can be very dangerous.
Sure, sure. Well, as always, when I talk to you, the future sounds bright and exciting, and I greatly appreciate that. My world, the future is kind of dismal, so so I'm glad that anytime we're able to talk. We're down to about 5 minutes. Last thoughts, things we haven't covered that you'd like to?
Yes, Ron, again, thank you so much for having me. I am really grateful that you joined the higher educational world, so to speak, and your willingness to provide the knowledge and share your experience with the students and anybody, either through the radio show or through the Cal College, whatever you wanted to do. Thank you so much, because we need to share the experience and to organize our training to meet the demand. It's very dynamic, changes overnight,
Yes.
but we need to stay on top of that. And one final thought, I would say, why is the need of Ivy Tech and anybody in this system, in this state, is more needed than any other time? Because if we're going to take a look at it, the college attainment, when the students or general public, you have at 48%, and Illumina Foundation, it's calling to be at 60%. And by 2025, we have a lot of work to do, because not only the foundation it's calling or is asking for that, but because we all know students in general, workforce, they need to have some kind of post-secondary credentials. It's not enough anymore to have high school diploma. No, you need to have short-term certifications, national certifications. You mentioned many of them, and nobody but we can provide that, the higher education. So really appreciate for your time, inviting me in your wonderful show. Appreciate your dedication to provide the best to the community and connecting us. So I really appreciate. And those listeners who they wanted to hear more about Ivy Tech and what we offer, please reach out to us at Valparaiso valparaiso-admissions@ivtech.edu, valparaiso-admissions@ivtech.edu, or call us 219-476-4701, 219-476-4701. Thank you so much, Ron, for having me.
Oh, thank you. It's always a joy to see you. I usually prefer over a cup of coffee or something, but this will do. And I'm glad you're my friend. And thank you. Thank you for the kind words you said. I can't echo enough what Atso said. This is a great time. There's great technology and great promise and bright future indicated, but we need people to step up, and we need people to get educated. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get degrees, though I encourage everyone to do that. Take 2 years and get your associates through Ivy Tech. Take that and follow it through to higher ed. And of course, I'm with Calumet College. Get your bachelor's, get your master's. That will definitely, I would say, nothing's guaranteed in this world, but that will show in your paycheck most likely. But you'll benefit greatly just with the new knowledge. So do that. Take time to do that and learn how you can be a part of the solution. There's so many needs today for the solution. We've got enough folks that volunteer for the problems. We need folks volunteering for solutions. So thank you, Atso. It's always a joy to see you. You're the Chancellor for Ivy Tech for, how do I say it correctly? Is it Porter County and LaPorte County, or is
No, it is Valparaiso campus, Michigan City, and LaPorte sites.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you as always for being with us, and thank you everyone, all your listeners and viewers, for being with us. Again, find us on WVLP. You can check us out on their website, wvlp.org. You can stream us, or you can catch us live on not live on radio, but on radio at 103.1. WVLP is a great community station. Check them out. We're on there Monday mornings from 8 to 9 and Friday afternoons from 1 to 2, or catch us on demand. Any of the podcast platforms or YouTube channel, all listed under The Information Playground. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Atso. Everyone have a great day.